much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking it as a positive that this person exists. Because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. Bob, Kid Rock, told me the night before, he said, if you want to get a word in edgewise, you're going to have to cut him off. He'll just go on. Not at all. I've had so many conversations with prominent people who are much less connected, people who don't look you in the eye, people who don't really listen because they just want to get to their next thing, people whose response to things you say just doesn't track, like, what? None of that was him. And he mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this? I know. Your mind is blown. So is mine. He's one of the most effective politicians, whatever you think of the policy of him as a person, just as a politician. I have no power. He's a comedian, and he's the most powerful leader in the world. I'm not the leader of anything, except maybe a contingent of centrist-minded people who think there's got to be a better way of running this country than hating each other every minute. So, meet up in person. Maybe it'll be different. Spoiler alert, it was. A lot of people told me they loved it, but not all. And we agreed. People who don't even want us to talk, we don't like you. Don't talk, as opposed to what? Writing the same editorial for the millionth time and making 25-hour speeches into the wind? Really, that's what liberals have? He takes the piss out of everybody else, and we can hold ours? Okay, that's my report. You can hate me for it, but I'm not a liar.
The long-awaited video has finally been released. Bill Maher was completely taken aback by Donald Trump. The wokies aren't thrilled with it, to put it mildly. Bill Maher revealed all that has been going on and verified the most startling development. To far in his most recent upload, which went beyond simply discussing Trump, he now supports MAGA wholeheartedly. Yes, one of the long-standing voices on the left has completely changed the course of events, and the left-wing media is now frantically attempting to suppress the news. You won't want to miss this one, I promise. Don't be shocked if you find yourself going all MAGA too by the end of this video.
Before I left for the Capitol, I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like stupid, dummy, lowlife dummy, sleazebag, sick, sad, stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog, his show is dead. 60. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign, which he did. Which he did with good humor. And I know as I say that, millions of liberal sphincters just tightened.
The fact that Trump has been the same person for over 40 years is what I adore most about him. Clear-cut, unrepentant, and reliable. And the wokies still don't understand that. They continue to appear astonished, but he hasn't altered all that much. Bill Maher's involvement is what's really enraged them right now. That he, of all people, has changed the perception that so many people are beginning to have of Trump. It's genuinely funny. As if it couldn't get any stranger, Trump directs Bill Maher to what he mockingly referred to as Hillary Clinton's blowjob room.
Yeah.
I like Bill Maher's show, but this is the Trump that we have all seen. He actually has a great sense of humor, and that's the thing that I think late-night television has missed in destroying itself. Congratulations, Greg Gutfeld. The reason you have the huge audience you have is because you're funny. And these guys have become, in many ways, political activists with late-night humor. But, man, if they had leaned into Trump in a funny way, he will play it up. He actually has a great sense of humor. And I give credit to Bill Maher, whoever had the idea to print out all the insults. But that is Trump just signing it. And here's the other thing, guys. Trump could have presented Bill Maher with all the insults that Bill Maher has made about him, and he gets over it. He doesn't hold grudges, which I think is probably the most unique thing about Trump. I mean, heck, he said the president said that he had Hitler tendencies, and now he's a heartbeat away.
And believe me when I say that the wokies will never display this kind of crap. Just consider it. Trump didn't need to coerce or manipulate anything, but he totally changed Bill Maher's perspective. That, in and of itself, says, a lot about how strong his impact is and why so many people are beginning to question everything they've been told.
Didn't give people, I'd have like no friends. Something to that effect. You know, you're right about that.
Yeah.
The left has missed an opportunity in late night TV.
Totally.
The politicians on the left and even some on the right are missing the opportunity to learn. This is how politics is done. Be real. I mean, that's one of the things that Bill Maher talked about a lot in his sort of post recap of this meeting was the guy is very real. He said, I've been around Democrats and I agree with them in politics, and they are much harder to talk to. They look away. They're not really interested in what I have to say. I felt like Donald Trump was a real person. I could disagree with him. I could look him in the eye. We could have a real discussion. Here's another bit of Bill Maher sharing his experience from meeting Donald Trump at the White House.
There, that guy wasn't living there. No, does Trump want respect? Of course, who doesn't? My friend said to me, what are you going to wear to the White House? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that. He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking it as a positive that this person exists. Because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton.
This is completely insane. Go watch it again if it didn't get to you the first time. By concentrating solely on Trump's shortcomings, it demonstrates how greatly the mainstream media has influenced the story. Watch this video through to the finish, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're still unsure.
It is. And it's also emblematic kind of deals he's making right now.
Yeah.
He gets on the phone with people. He knows how to connect. His, social intelligence, to me, is off the charts.
I think that's true, Rachel. And also, authenticity destroys cancel culture. People have gotten used to who Trump is. And I think what Bill Maher saw is what the American public as a whole has come to see. You don't have to agree with the guy on everything, but he's not pretending to be something that he isn't. And that's what stood out to me. A lot of politicians, Obama, Hillary Clinton, actually pretend to be something they aren't. Remember, why did Bill Clinton get away with having an affair with an intern in the Oval Office? Because deep down, people are like, I can kind of see him doing that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's not a good authenticity, but he was representative of what people thought. And I love this because it's destroying cancel culture.
And Trump listens because he.
That's right.
Huge.
Furthermore, the fact that the character has nothing to do with being on the right or left is what truly sticks out in this instance. The truth is that fake news has consumed the left. Since they have exchanged honesty for publicity, they have lost all sense of reality and are unable to perceive what is truly in front of them.
Who are exactly the portrait of a liberal white couple living in Park Slope, Brooklyn that you would expect, wind up moving upstate and then are surrounded by Trumpers, and they're petrified. But then, when they get stuck in the snow, the Trump guy down the street doesn't hesitate to help dig the liberals out. The author, Larissa Phillips, says she slowly came to reject the political prejudice so common among my tribe, and that it's hard to care where someone stands on politics when they race to your house to save a dying lamb, when their wife helps search for your runaway dogs, and that she personally has been stunned by the depth of my neighbor's generosity. It's almost like there are fine people on both sides.
And while he was with Donald J. Trump, Bill Maher appeared to feel precisely this way. The shift was real, and you could see it. And my goodness, I've never witnessed Bill Maher's audience applaud Trump's genuine nature so enthusiastically. Perhaps, just possibly, we're beginning to get a little bit of the left back on track. That was one of those times.
Moments when I hit him with a joke or contradicted something, and no problem. At dinner, he was asking me about the nuclear situation in Iran in a very genuine, hey, I think you're a smart guy, I want your opinion sort of way. And I said, well, obviously you're privy to things about it, I'm not, but for what it's worth, I thought the Obama deal was worth letting play out because we made Iran destroy 98% of the uranium and they were 15 years away from a bomb. And then I said to him, but we got rid of that. You got rid of that. He didn't get mad or call me a left-wing lunatic. He took it in. I told him I thought parts of his
plan for Gaza were wacky, but that I had supported him in the idea that Gaza could be Dubai instead of hell. I told him he was wrong when he tweeted the night before that I was critical of all things Trump. Not true. Check the tapes. Moving Israel's embassy to Jerusalem, loved it. The border did need to be controlled. I'm glad the cops are getting their morale back. DEI had gone too far. Biological men shouldn't be playing women's sports. Europe should pay for their defense. And of course, it makes sense that Arab countries should take in Arab refugees, like the million Syrians who wound up in Germany when Saudi Arabia took none. He said to me, "You're right, they took none." I said, "Well, you should remind your boyfriend in Saudi Arabia that the next time you see him."
This is the reason I adore Bill Maher. He is the type of person who, even when it contradicts the narrative, speaks up for what he believes to be right. Naturally, the woke nutcases are now attempting to discredit him for it. Why? Since he is no longer abiding by their guidelines. They are utterly disconnected from reality, biased, and mired in their irrational interpretations of Trump.
I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. That's just how it went down. Make of it what you will. Me, I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days. He was even okay when I checked him on the orangutan lawsuit. He was. He said to Dana White, Bill said my father was an orangutan, and I really love my father. And I said, well, Mr. President, I did that because I didn't like what you were doing regarding Obama's birth origins. I thought that was low. Again, no anger, just a little smile as if to say, yeah, I get it. The most surreal part of the whole night was when I got home. I flew back right after the dinner, and I'm in bed watching 60 Minutes from the night before. And there's Trump in one of their stories, standing at a podium in a room that looked to me like one of the rooms and places we'd just been in. And he's ranting, disgusting, you're a terrible person. And I'm like, who's that guy? What happened to Glinda the Good Witch?
And as evidence of what a genuine patriotic president looks like, this video will remain here forever. We are very grateful to Bill Maher for bringing all of this to our attention and for helping us uncover the truth about our president. Thanks for watching, and if you love the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.